Hi guys, Bill with Mufasajeep, and this isn't a Jeep. What's going on here? Um, so we acquired this car, something I wanted since I was a kid. Probably a big mistake, more than likely. Definitely a big mistake. So I bought the car sight unseen off of a guy. He said it just needed a few little things, had only been off the road for a tiny bit. Showed up with it. I gave him the cash. It was dark. He put me off. So they show up at dark and, they played the little game, and once I started digging into it after I handed them the cash and they left, I noticed it was missing a fuel rail, and it definitely wasn't what he said it was. So we put a lot of work in it already, but every time I turn around this car, I think it hates me. I really do. Um, so it got new wheels, new tires. I acquired a fuel rail, which was really, really hard to find. The I'll have Angela walk around so you can get a picture of the car. We already started sanding it. We're going to paint it eventually, but every time we get ready to do that, it has some kind of epic issue that dictates that we don't need to paint it yet. Just like today. I pulled it out of the garage after we put a bunch of parts into it, and it's leaking antifreeze. So it needs a water pump. And I'm going to show you where the engine is and the logistics behind working on this little thing. It's a riot. Don't get me wrong. I like to bash this car because it's really giving me a hard time, but at the end of the day, I want the car. I want it to run. I want to drive it and play with it. It's like an adult go-kart. It really is what it is. It's not super fast, but it's spunky. It's a 2.8 liter V6, 1987 Pontiac Fiero GT. We took the wing off because it's funny because you look at this. So this is what Florida does to cars. Up here, the sun has just checked this so bad that it's almost like Braille. If I was blind, I could read that this car has crappy paint. I'm just being honest. But right here, when we shine this up, it looks like brand new. This is where that spoiler set over top and protected it from the sun. We have the spoiler in the garage. I'll open up the power barn here where the engine sits. The engine's in the back of this car. That's why I like it. It's kind of a cool car. So give me a minute, I'll grab a key and we'll pop this thing up and I'll show you what I'm dealing with. These cars they're getting harder and harder to find. So by default, the parts are super hard to find. It's my custom hood prop rod. You can buy one of those at your local Lowe's or Home Depot. Works well. So 2.8 liter V6, and you could already see shiny parts. I changed this. The fuel rail sets underneath this plenum. I changed that. That's new. Some new wires, all new spark plugs, new battery, all new brakes, rotors. There's a new master and slave because this is a stick shift. So millennials probably won't be able to steal it ever because they don't know how to drive stick shift. Most millennials. I'm not speaking for all you guys. I'm sure some of you guys are car guys just like us, and you have learned how to drive a stick. Good for you. I'm a fan. Yeah, lots of new parts in here. Tons and tons of new parts. And just when we thought we had it running okay enough to order the paint and get the painting, today I pulled it out of the garage. And as you could see, yucky, rusty, mucky. The water pump's going bad. It was making some noise like the bearings are going out, but and it's going to be a bear because the water pump sits way down in here. So we'll have to take this guy out, which is easy. These just pop up. And then the battery sits under there. I'll have to remove the battery, move some electronics here. We'll get in. I'll cuss a lot, I'm 1000% sure. And it'll probably take way longer than it should. But I'll get that water pump out and we'll get a new water pump in it and it'll be back to cooling. Because these cars are a little weird. So the engine's back here, but they didn't have enough room to put everything back there. So this is what we haven't. Sounded like something fell in there. Radiators up here. So when we do the coolant, we're gonna have to burp the system, and it's a bear. Oh yeah, new this has pop-up headlights, so it's got the motors. I had to put new motors in here, so that's another thing I did. Here's the new master, the slave for the clutches in the back. This line I had to kind of make myself because they're like obsolete and they're super hard to find. Even this This thread is not the same as a brake like you would think, so that you can use like brake parts to get this. I forget what the thread is because it's been 6 months since I tinkered with this thing. But once I got it to start and run, then I noticed that the clutch had no clutch. So new master, new slave in the back, um, new line because we put the master and the slave in and we pumped and pumped and pumped and pumped. I didn't pump. Angela pumped and pumped and pumped and pumped and then started bitching that she was pumping and nothing was happening. And lo and behold, something was happening. It was just underneath the car and we couldn't see it. It was just a massive pool of hydraulic fluid. So we found out the line was bad. So then I thought about burning the car down, but we didn't. Just like now. Maybe I should have gave up on this car. We haven't yet though, and maybe we should have the day it came in the driveway. That's yet to be determined. We will see. So yeah, all that's new. The car runs. I mean, it runs great. It's only got 71,000. It's odd getting in a car this slow compared to one of our Jeeps. So I can show you the interior. We got 71,000 original miles. If the glare's not, I don't know. Like I said, it's stick. I got some of the dash pieces out because I wanted to clean everything up real good. There's a bag down here. Searching through the car, I found a bag. This was a one owner car, and then somebody bartered, and then I bought it off the guy that bartered that kind of lied to me. I think this car was really well taken care of from the original owner. You could tell that he loved the car. But the next guy, the guy that I got it from, didn't so much. I mean, you can look. The door cards are very, very clean. The dash, I mean, if I wiped off all the dust, it's clean. That door card's very clean. This seat was actually good until somebody decided to take the old fuel tank when they were fixing it, the guy before me, decided it would be best to throw it in the car and rip the seat, which they're really hard to find these seats in good condition, but now I'm searching for some. Yeah, I mean, I got it apart a little bit, but power windows work, the locks work, everything works in it so far that we've tested. We've tooled it around the block a couple times. It doesn't have tags because I wanted to really get it going and get it nice before we did that. So it's a cool little car. A lot of people wouldn't touch one because they're very difficult to work on, and I could see why now. I had one when I was a kid for 3 days, and my dad said, "Hey, you got to take that back. I am not working on that car," because he was a bigger guy and it was difficult. So I get it now because it is a very difficult car to work on. You're usually standing in the trunk, leaning over with your hands getting all ripped up by all the engine parts to try to get certain little things in and out with new and old and all that. So we started sanding it. That's why it looks like this. These stupid taillights, the lenses for these taillights, if you have a set, you know what they are. I cannot find a set of the lenses, just the glass part, not glass parts like Lexan, plastic, that covers this. They want $1,000 just for the lenses. I paid $2,400 for the whole dang car, so yeah, just 2 sets of lenses, I could have another one of these that I'd probably be upset at having to work on, but it is what it is. So I can't wait. These have little sections. They're $220 to replace these 2 guys. I'm gonna buy new ones once we paint it. We got to get way down the road before we start making her look pretty. I want to make sure that it's actually going to run and drive the way it's supposed to. And I probably shouldn't have if I would have known I was going to be this deep in it, I would have, I probably should have chalked it up the day we got it, really. But we're here now, and I don't want to give up on the car, so we're going to keep working on it. And I'm going to start making some videos about it. So if you're into Fieros, like I'm a car guy. I could name about 100 different cars that I'd love to own. I can name probably 100 cars that I've already owned. So I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I've had more cars. I've owned more cars than I am years old. That's how much I love cars. So this is just a cool car. Everybody, all the Corvette guys are like, oh, the Corvette's a mid-engine car, first GM mid-engine car. Really? You sure about that? I think some guy back in '84 said, hey, we're going to make this car. We're going to steal some parts from a Chevy Citation and a bunch of other cars and make something cool. And then they throttled them back, and it became this, which is kind of GM's abomination when you ask anybody. So this was a parts bin car, except for this new, everything's plastic, or ABS. Kind of like when they brought out the Grand Am. Everything is plastic panels. So that's why they don't really look, they could be rotted all the way out and you would never know because it's all underneath these plastic panels. But stay tuned. We'll do some stuff on this guy. Of course, we'll get back to Jeep and stuff, but it's kind of off season for Jeep and stuff, so gives me a chance to focus on some of my other projects, and hopefully we get this car back on the road because it's a fun little car. It really is. So again, Bill, Mufasajeep, stay tuned. We'll work on this guy, and hopefully it turns out better than it looks now.